Bandito Radio 112 FM, a streaming radio station for all toy enthusiasts, collectors, photographers, and customizers. Built to match your mood and passion. Music from hip-hop to country and all the rock in between with host Howlin' Jim Jackson. For a dose of the macabre, there's Myra's Morgue of Midnight Madness. Plus our newest collector podcast, Purple Gang Gang Full Frontal Purple. And Action Figure Frequencies. With your hosts, SKN's own Chet Maddox and Alexander Storm. Bandito Radio 112 FM. Available to stream now on Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Good evening, toy enthusiasts, collectors, pop culture, nerds, dorks, fans, fanboys, fangirls. Welcome to another episode of Pixels, Plastic, and Ink. Oh boy, we've got another exciting evening planned full of hot topics in the world of all things pop culture, including Mezco drops their first ever 112 scale vehicle. We are going to talk about the heavy price tag associated with that. Is it worth it? Should you pick it up? In the same realm of all things expensive vehicles, how does it compare to the Snowcat, G.I. Joe's HasLab? We're going to get into that. Plus, I mean, if you've been on social media, Superman has taken over and the reviews are in. It's mixed, mostly positive. This group saw it. We're going to give you our take. Is it as good as everyone has said it is? Plus, lots of other news around the world. Stay tuned, folks. This is Pixels, Plastic, and Ink. Alrighty. I love that, man. It's my workout. I just played the PPI song while I'm getting in reps.
It's like the next Magnum PI song, really.
Yeah.
When you think about it, that's kind of how it is.
I just need to be like on a helicopter in Hawaii, Or what was Magnum's Ferrari? What was it? It was a 1986.
I
I
think
forget
so.
the
No,
model.
that was very early, like
Was it
81 or
84?
82.
Oh, was it
Yeah.
82?
It was
Damn.
early.
Well, we're dating ourselves here, folks. We got we got the gray hair, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's dating us.
We're talking about Star Trek and Magnum PI. Let's just get into anime and then people were like, oh, okay, they're a little bit younger. But hey, welcome on in, Mr. Storm. Obviously, the gentleman that usually makes up the foursome again on the private yacht. What will return very soon, and we'll have an announcement at the end of this episode for a special episode of SKN Toy Box Chronicles this Sunday. So stay tuned. But Dr. Brantley, how are you this fine evening?
Doing good. Mr. Storm is on assignment, so we're picking up the slack, and hopefully we do an okay job. We'll see.
We shall see. Chat, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I got a lot I gotta say. I have seen some pictures of the yachts that Mr. Thunderous Sexy Storm is picking out, so I'm excited about that. And as my colleague Dr. Brentley said, hopefully we could pick up the slack here. But more importantly, how are you doing, Mr. Rad?
I'm good. I hear all these things about yachts and Mr. Storm, but I have heard that he did make a quick stop into a remote part of Antarctica, where he is currently building a snowcat, a real life snowcat.
He is.
Considering how big of a Joe fan he is,
Well, he
and
was- yeah.
and he's having his crew make eggs. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be very exciting.
Well, he was
see.
mad. Yeah, he was mad about it. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to show these bastards how to make a real snowcat.
Mhm.
And that's secretly what he's doing. We weren't supposed to say anything, but
I
pictures
thought
will
it
be
was
posted.
he was going to this fortress of solitude to get away from
Maybe.
us all.
Maybe.
Maybe.
He needs
Speaking
to
of,
to get there.
Speaking
That's
of Fortress
that's what
of
I
Solitude,
that's the name of my restroom when I need to seek salt. That's what I
Fortress of
call
Solitude.
I'll be right
Funny
back.
thing is, that is actually the name of our chat tonight, the Fortress of Solitude restroom. Let's hit that up really quick.
Let's see who's in. Let's see who's
Amanda
in the
Bly.
chat.
I want Superman to be good. I don't care who makes it. Superman just needs to be done right.
Okay.
The Rumbler looks okay. 325 though. Much rather get the HasLab Snowcat for the same price. I think that is gonna be around with everyone. Yep, a prop for my brain on drugs. See, that's talk about someone who is dating themselves. That is this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
Any questions?
Meeks, welcome in. SKN, glad to see you here. The Hidden, welcome in. Welcome in.
What's up?
We got some weird, what is that? An octopus that's excited?
I don't know. It's
And then Commander Bly is back. So yeah, man. We just as we're going, let us know what your thoughts are on everything we're talking about in the comments. And for those of you that have not or do or whatever, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, and all that jazz. But Dr. Brentley, what are we going over first?
Let's roll into it.
Oh boy. R.U.M.B.L.R.
But this excites me. Okay. I'm a big Mezco fan. And especially their own Rumble Society Gomez line. I know we've talked about this previously in various podcasts, but Mezco is obviously really great in 1/12 scale figures, heavy articulation, cloth goods. I feel like they're the best in the business when it comes to that style. You get the Japanese imports, the SH Figure Arts, the Mafex. Obviously, you got the Four Horsemen making really good top quality stuff, but I think Mezco sets the bar. And I was excited when they announced this because it's the first time they've ever done a vehicle, and vehicles are hot right now. Obviously, tons of HasLabs, and everyone was contemplating what the price would be. I think just based historically off some of the bigger stuff they've released, this seemed to be the price point here. They got in the hands of a lot of toy influencers and reviews on YouTube prior to this drop, so we got some hints, and now we've seen full-scale reviews of this thing, and it's inclusive of the Death Adder figure, which they've released in the past, very desirable figure. Well, we have another version of it, and it is free shipping. It took a full day and some change before it sold out, but it is finally sold out on the website. So, gentlemen, the Rumbler, first vehicle from Mezco. Your thoughts, price point, reviews, what you've seen. Are you in? Are you out? Mixed feelings? What's the word?
Yeah, I mean, look, like number one, we're gonna have to fire Steve if we can go back a slide.
Oh,
I don't really
yeah, I
know
didn't.
when.
I was
I
gonna
don't.
go past it.
Yeah, I don't really know when STC 22T is coming out.
But it's gonna be ready.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
know.
it's. I didn't
Brady.
want, like, I didn't want to announce this. I
Look,
mean, I was
Steve
gonna
is
save
on
it.
thin ice as it is.
Yeah,
Well,
Steve's gonna get
No,
kicked.
no. Steve is correct on this one.
Yeah.
I am announcing my own convention, and it's going to be ratty.
Ratty.
It's going to be all the stuff
right.
is going to be ratty
All right.
for 2020 T, which is in the future, and T stands for Tron.
Is that like the
light
sequel to
cycles.
T2?
Yeah.
After the AI bots take over, it's
Yeah.
gonna be, a different numbering system.
Steve's been drinking. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's.
Okay. So here's my thought on this. I was gonna be in on this. I didn't actually purchase it. I've got other things kind of like coming down the pipeline that's just like, at 325. We've talked about it a little bit too. We're also prepping for like LA Comic-Con, so there's a lot of like situations that are happening with just all of that. But what I will tell you is that I am hoping that this is on the same quality as Mezco, because I do agree with you. Mezco does do 112 figures very well. But my only, okay, so they did a couple things right here. The release that they did, the commercial where the kid said, "Oh shit, it's the Rumbler." Like it was
no, he says, "Holy shit, it's the Rumbler."
Yeah, that's right. So I thought that they did that very well, but I'm gonna be honest, like there's some stuff that's just like the working winch. I don't know if you really need that. Let's see.
Yeah.
Commander Bly said, "To my eye, the Rumbler looks like it needs better ground clearance." That's true. Is this image about a Joe vehicle? No, this is Mezco's new Rumbler. And then F Steve. So yeah, look, I think it's good. I would have purchased this had there not been so much stuff coming down the pipes for me. But what do you think, Dr. Brinley?
I mean, it's cool looking. It's better than some other vehicles that are purported to be military vehicles. This actually looks like one.
Yeah.
Big ass gun on top and the windows. The figure is kind of cool, and that can go in sort of with your GI Joe collection. It looks kind of like a weird Cobra kind of figure. So it's cool if you've got the money for this kind of thing. I will say though, the one thing that I'm most impressed with all these vehicles lately is the blast effects. Because when we were kids, if you had a toy with a missile, it was just a little plastic missile that stuck on, right? Yeah. This stuff is like, oh, we got the ones ready and we got the ones that are like mid-launch. And that is just so cool looking, and they do a great job. So like that's almost worth it for me to get it just because it looks cool.
Yeah, I agree. Like even the HasLab stuff, like I recently opened the Dragonfly HasLab, and I was like, geez, it's nuts, the missile effects. I think you're right. This can fit with any military collection. If you're a Joe fan, this fits right in. If you're collecting other things, Operation Monster Force, this fits right in. It doesn't have to be Mezco. I think it's not specific to the line, which I think is important. And look, man, a snakehead on a figure, Death Adder's been released before, but again, fits with the Joe collection. Like this guy could be fighting with Snake Eyes on the Joe side. He could be a Cobra figure. Like you could pop the head off and put him on another body. Like I guarantee you this is going to be of quality. Mezco rarely releases anything that's like garbage, and I'm sure
Yeah.
they've taken their time. It is a bit of a risk at 325 because it's their first ever vehicle in the line. And the other thing too is like unless you followed Mezco really carefully over time, you don't know who Death Adder is, and you're not familiar with the Rumble Society. So it's
Right.
not a character unless you're a Mezco fan. So that is the risk, but it sold out. I don't know how many units they sold. Who knows? But I'm excited. Working Lights, the reviews that I saw online from various toy reviewers, it looked good. I think the price point's heavy. I'm glad they did free shipping though. I mean, that's a huge win. In this day and age, you don't get free shipping on much. So kudos to them for doing that. It just comes at a really challenging time when you got the Snowcat, you got all these other projects we talked about on Toy Box Chronicles on Wednesday. It's a lot to absorb all the costs, but as a Mezco fan, I got it. I can't wait to have it opened. And the good news is, unlike most vehicles where you've got to pay and wait, this arrives right after San Diego Comic-Con. So
Yeah, that's
there's
that's
only
I
a
think
couple there's only a couple things I'll wait for. Bandito's one.
yep.
I'll wait as long as it takes for that bad boy. But for others, it's a little frustrating. You don't get it for a long time, but you have to put your money in. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that this will come in a few weeks.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was impressed with, which is literally what Mezco does, right? Is like and that's something to be said about how they do things too, is they do that a lot with figures as well, right? Like, hey, we're going to be releasing this figure, they build the hype up, and then this was like, hey, this is going to be coming out and shipping like after San Diego Comic-Con. So it's like, oh well, then I'm not just doing a Walmart purchase where I sit on it and you take my money and I don't get it, right? Commander Body says, thoughts on stealing backers from the Snowcat. I that's to me that is a good point, because look, they're the same price point, and the Snowcat has stalled out at 6,700 backers. So, and
I think it's fair. I think it's a
yeah,
fair like Joe collectors. I don't think so. But somebody who's not a Joe collector, that's like collects HasLabs or wants vehicles. If you're comparing the Snowcat versus this, what fits probably better in a military style collection at the very similar price points? You might be onto something. This may have caused a initial look. This is probably going to be on display in San Diego, and so I don't know if they're going to have Snowcat.
I bet you.
Are they there? Is Hasbro's there in San Diego?
Hasbro's there. I bet you what they're gonna do is they'll announce a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Rumbler.
I don't know. They usually do Mezco. Like, they don't do a lot. We'll see. Who knows? Who the hell knows?
You talking about
I
the
think that
MezCon?
yeah, they usually don't do a lot of San Diego Con exclusives, but who knows this year? They may. They may.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it depends on what San Diego's offering everybody to do exclusives, considering the entire movie entertainment industry backed out last minute.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It's sold out. It'll ship in a couple of weeks. We'll do a formal review on this. So if you're interested in seeing more, we'll definitely have it in our hands. So excited. We'll do some toy photography. So obviously, Chet, we'll open that bad boy up and get some good shots of this new 112 figure, and you can go from there. But I'm excited again as a Mezco fan.
Well, Mezco is quality, right? So I don't think people are too worried about this being their first vehicle, just because everything else that Mezco releases is like top tier.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
And you're right. Just the way they're doing this, it's like they've already produced and packaged this. It's ready to go. And all they did was like, we need to produce, 1,000, 2,000, whatever the number is, and sell it at this price to make our profit. Let's produce those, sell it. Now we're done, and walk away, instead of doing all this prolonged stuff, waiting for a year and a half sometimes, and then it finally shows up. It's like, okay.
Yep. And you think about,
Ford.
you think about Mezco, they have They have all the different IPs and licenses. Like they do everything. So there's immense trust in the toy industry when they can go ahead and turn around all the horror figures, all the Marvel figures, DC, Indiana Jones. Like they got everything. So trust me, you're in good hands. If you got the money, I'd recommend. And we're not sponsored. Hopefully, we could be sponsored at one point, but we're not
Yes.
sponsored.
Send one or two or three or four.
Please. All right. Well, moving on to the other topic of the weekend, and Superman has arrived. James Gunn's Superman is here. So, if you think about all the reviews, do you guys think this vehicle resembles Action Force's Dreadnought ride, codenamed Thunder Machine? I think there's some similarities to the Valiverse vehicle, a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like every time anytime a vehicle comes in, there's some similarities and some good, but I think it's its own. That's a good question. But here we are, Superman. There's a lot of doubts, probably low expectations heading in. It took a lot of flack, a lot of heat leading in, and preview night blew it away, right? I think it's one of the strongest preview nights. That I think it did over $22 million, and on track to surpass 200 million over the weekend. I think maybe even more. Like
I don't think so.
You don't think it'll do 2?
No.
That's what I read, is like they think it tracks. We'll see. Maybe it's just
Before
they got the review hype going. They got the review hype.
Before we get into this, are we doing spoilers? I think
I think we should do non-spoilers because most people have not had a chance to see it.
Yeah, we're not. We're going to talk a little bit about generalized. Yeah, we're not going to do spoilers.
I will.
But you can code things.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good because Commander Bly is going to see it Sunday. Okay, cool. So we will refrain as much as possible from any major spoilers outside of anything that's you can already read on the internet.
Yeah. So let's get into it, right? I think this group here had probably a little bit low expectations. I don't know if it was a gutter film. That's how I feel about Fantastic Four coming up. We all saw it yesterday. So let's first start with you, Dr. Brantley. Your expectations going in, your kind of review summary, and then walking out. What's the take?
I had very low expectations because up until the last trailer, nothing really looked that good to me. The last trailer kind of sold me, though. And so I was like, okay, let's see where this is going. And I have to say, I was so pleasantly surprised. Like from minute 1 to the end, it is just an enjoyable, fun ride. And it goes by quick. It's so very quickly paced. And I really loved it. They do use some Wildstorm character in different ways than you expect, and not necessarily, there's some things that deviate from the established canon. But I have to say, those things that they did, I loved. I think it's a brilliant choice. Some of these things they did, just because it completely changes a lot of what we think about Superman.
I think
it's an interesting choice.
I think what's important is what Commander Bly is pointing out for people who haven't seen this before. What the hell does Dr. Brantley know about trailers? Not a whole lot, other than he's probably made every trailer you saw when you were growing up, and get it. And that's where I do want to get into that part of it with you as well on that. But yeah,
Chet, what's your take? What'd you think of Soups?
So before we went live, I was talking to the good old Doc about it. I actually, and so for those of you who don't know, Rad and I went and saw it last night in IMAX. I'm trying to keep this as spoiler free as possible, and there's no major spoilers based on what I'm gonna say, other than it was a if I was to rate it on like a good James Gunn character movie, right? Like a Guardians movie where he does like an ensemble cast and then you find out who he favors. It was a pretty fun movie. If I was going into this thinking this was going to be a Superman movie, I would be bummed out. Let's put it that way. So I think let's see, the Hidden said, since I didn't see Superman, I'm going to check out for a few minutes, but I'll return to this. Awesome. We're going to try to keep it as spoiler free as possible, but yeah, I think what the deal is with this is that all around, like, you know, I don't agree with everybody that's saying it's like a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. It's really not. What I love that is happening though, that I have not seen, I don't know. I think maybe the last time I remember seeing any kind of like back and forth banter and like comments and reviews like this is when like Iron Man came out, which is, it's not about what the context of the film is. It's more about like, did they do Superman right? So there's this like back and forth on like, oh, they could have done this with him, or they could have done that with him, or they should have done this, or I like how they did this, right? Like, did they touch on his superpowers more versus like the humanity side versus whatever. So I love seeing all of that happening. But I think what we'll do is like maybe in like a week or 2 weeks, maybe we should come back and talk about like all the other stuff. But at the end of the day, it's worth seeing in the theater 100%. A lot of my predictions about it being a James Gunn film, though, if you go back and watch previous episodes, I think I was right. I think like as a James Gunn film, like, yeah, it's cool. As a Superman film, I was expecting a little bit more, but it doesn't mean that I'm upset that I went and saw it. And I enjoyed it, which is the most important piece in my mind. What about you, Rad?
I was blown away because my expectations were very low. That's first and foremost. And I think they didn't do I know Dr. Brantley said it, didn't do a great job in the teasers and the trailers, like really promoting this the way the film actually turned out. I think this was probably the most accurate representation of like comic book Superman. Lighthearted, good guy. Like there was some cheesy. It felt like I was watching comic book. Like there wasn't like there's some serious stuff in it, but it wasn't overly like. And I don't need that from Superman. I don't need this like darkness with like. I thought it was really great. The first half was a little slower pacing for me. The second half really kicked into gear. I thought the cast did a phenomenal job. And he did a really good job as Superman, right? Like everyone's Henry Cavill, but like I don't have a problem with it because he's a different Superman. That's if they tried to replicate what Henry Cavill's Superman was, I would have been like, come on, like you could have just had Henry. But I don't think Henry Cavill plays this without giving it away. I don't think he plays this type of Superman. And the last thing I'll say, I like the dog, maybe a little too much dog, but I like the dog. And the CGI was great because usually, and again, the trailers were a bit like iffy. I thought the CGI was spectacular.
Yep.
Considering the garbage we've seen with like Marvel stuff recently, they took their time and spent money here. So I'd recommend it. If you're not a Superman, just go to the theater though. I'll watch it on HBO or whatever. But at the end of the day, like this deserves to be watched in a theater.
The one thing I will say too, and Commander Bly kind of said it, is that the fact that you're all such James Gunn haters but didn't hate this film is a good sign for me. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, like,
well, Alex isn't here, so I mean, I can't. It's 3 of 4 at this point.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, I will say something too. Like a lot of people, there's a scene that was in like one of the trailers where he was flying, and they said the CGI was like messed up with his eye. I'm gonna be honest with you, that wasn't CGI. Like there's other parts of the movies where I think he's got
just his face.
I think he's got a lazy eye. I mean, I don't know, but it also wasn't noticeable for me in the movie. Like I knew where the scene was, but it wasn't like
I
don't know.
Well, also his face is right here, this close to the camera, so
exactly.
it's
it's a little wonky, in
And you can't,
widescreen.
and to your point too, like you can't ignore a camera that close. If you
Right.
are, if you that, like you can talk like when you're on a set,
Hey,
you
what's
can,
up?
yeah, when you're you're like Blair Witch projecting that shit. Like you can't really ignore a camera that much, and they could tell them like, hey, look over here, like or do whatever. But at the end of the day, like a lot of that issue from a technical perspective is just the fact that the camera is in his face, and there's probably
Yeah.
shit behind the camera you don't see that he's looking at. And so like when you put that into perspective, the one thing I will say though, is that he did do a pretty good job of keeping you involved in the film. But I'm with Rad. Like the first half of the film, I was a little like ho-hummed about in terms of just like what is the play, like what is it gonna be. Doesn't mean that I was bored. I was just kind of like, okay, where is this gonna go, right? So it was good. True shout out to Alex for his gun hate. Yep. Shout out. I will tell you this, and this isn't a spoiler. This is just facts. I appreciated a lot of the cameos in the movie.
Yeah. Now, I will say, definitely, it feels like the most comic book movie I've ever seen outside of maybe a Sin City or a 300.
Yeah.
Because this is like the DC comics come to life, and it's like there's a DC company-wide crossover event, and you're picking up issue 2, and that's where you're starting. It's like it's in the middle of the action, and everything is already established. They don't like try and tell you anything about these characters. They're already there, and they're already doing stuff. And I really appreciated that, because I don't think people nowadays really need all the hand holding. We had to do it with the original Superman, the motion picture, because it hadn't been done seriously before.
Yeah.
This, then it was like, okay, we have to make it super serious. We have to make you believe that these things can be happening and not go too crazy too quickly. And this is just in your face. Hey, there's monsters, there's people that fly, and the world already knows all this stuff. It's like the world knows there's aliens, and that's just the world we're in,
I did appreciate that about that. I don't want to get too far into that, but yeah, I would agree. It is like picking up issue number 2 of a crossover event, which is great.
Yeah.
It's completely different. Yeah.
It felt like Superman comic book. That's my thing. The last thing I'll say here is the biggest doubt I had outside of whether or not this guy was Superman was Guy Gardner. And Nathan Fillion was one of the best parts of the film. So I'm just saying to you, the bowl cut, which is what Guy Gardner had in the books, but like it comes to life. So again, the trailer, you look at it and you're like, what is this goofy stuff? And it's like, oh, actually, okay, all comes together. So happy we're finally to a point where comic characters don't all have to be gritty black leather. Where exactly. You don't need that, right? We don't need the first X-Men where it's like, the blue and yellow suit. Like, no, let's put them in all black leather. Like those times are over. We want to see the comic accurate in some cases, not all the cases. I want my Punisher to be super gritty. Doesn't have, and usually the comics are there. But Superman is the epitome of comics, one of the oldest comic book characters of all time. Give us that.
Well, look how good Wolverine turned out in Deadpool and Wolverine. They just went straight up the old school costume, as ridiculous as it looks, and it looked amazing.
And everyone loved it. Everyone loved it.
In this movie, Metamorpho, the Element Man, when you look at the pictures in a comic book, he's like cut in 4 ways. He's orange and purple, and one leg is silver, and it's like, how is this gonna work? And it looks amazing. They just straight up did exactly what you see, and it looks beautiful. And all these characters that you think there may be too many characters, but they all have a reason to be there.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's left out and just there to be there.
So
They all have a purpose.
I do have a question for you though. But we were talking before we went on though, and you were saying that they didn't do the trailers justice. So I don't want to get into spoilers, and this is where I think that there is another conversation that we have to preface the show for people to show up, which will be like major spoilers for Superman. Maybe that's a show we do in like a week or two. But without giving away too much stuff from somebody that's made edits for films, what do you think? I don't know if there's a way to say it, but like, what do you think they could have done better? Like, what, like,
just accurately portray the movie. They sold you trying to be like maybe a reinvention of the Christopher Reeve movies. That's not what this is. This is a completely different thing, but I think they're trying to get into that nostalgia. But that's not what this movie is. All the stuff with Guy Gardner in the trailers, I didn't think was funny. In the movie, in context, he kills. Every bit of it kills. Even the stupid haircut works in the movie in context. But when you see it just like a still frame or something, it doesn't really work. Like they always showed him walking by and then shooting his ring at a wall of people, and it cuts him off, and you don't really know what it is, and it looks like, oh, he's doing something, but there's no context and it's not funny. There's so many good things that they could have done to showcase what this movie is, and I think word of mouth is going to help this movie, because this is one where the people that love Superman are going to go see it. But I think most of them are going to be like, oh my God, where's this Superman been all my life? This is like straight up comic book. Come see this with me. I think it's going to be the kind of thing where people will bring their friends who are like on the fence about it.
Yep. Agreed. Okay. All right. Well, final take. Let's go around. Scale of 1 to 10 on Superman. What do you give it, Dr. Brantley?
I'd say like a 8.5 or a 9. It's up there. I enjoyed this every minute all the way through, and it could have even stood to be like 15-20 minutes longer. I feel like they cut a lot of stuff with Clark Kent out, because he's the character that really gets the smallest amount of time. And but other than that, absolutely loved it.
Yeah. Welcome in, Jason. Welcome in, man. All right, chat. Scale 1 to 10. Superman.
I got 2. I gotta give it 2, and that's part of the next conversation after like a week or two. As far as like a Superman movie goes, for me was like a 7 out of 10. As far as like a James Gunn movie goes, for like just a James Gunn style movie, it's like a 7.5 or an 8. But for like going in with the expectation that it's like a Superman movie, it's like a 7. But that 7 has a lot of weight behind it because it was entertaining. Like if someone was like, "Hey, I haven't seen, you want to go watch it with me?" Like I would go. 1,000% I would go watch it.
Okay, so we need an answer. That we don't need 5 scores. And for Superman, superhero movie, 7 out of 10. Okay, I'm an 8. I'm an 8 out of 10. Borderline 8.5. But I think it's an 8. All right. Collectively, the cast is an average of 8.
I want to see it again. Like I will go to a theater and see this again. There's not that many movies that I do that to.
Yeah. All right. Well, you heard it here, folks. If you're planning on going check it out, hopefully you agree with us, or you don't or you don't agree. Either way, drop a comment in the chat. Drop a comment later on. We appreciate you all watching this live or on the replay. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It is now time for
what?
Oh, that's
we
right.
still got one more bit.
This is an important one too.
Yes,
This is an
comic
important
book
one.
legend gets well-deserved honor. On July 9th, the corner of Delancey and Essex in New York City joined the Marvel Universe for a day in honor of the seminal artist and creator Jack Kirby. Delancey Street was renamed Yancey Street / Jack Kirby Way. Jack King Kirby, a legendary artist and prolific storyteller, is responsible for some of the most iconic characters in the world, including Captain America, Iron Man, Ant-Man, the Hulk, nobody cares, and the Fantastic Four. Beyond designing art and creating stories that would inspire and entertain for decades, he also pulled from his own life as a New Yorker as inspiration for the fictional world that would become the Marvel Universe. That's kind of cool,
Yeah.
50 years too late or whatever, but yeah, it's cool.
Are they going to keep that Fantastic Four sign up now?
I think it was for the day.
Okay.
It's a publicity stunt for the movie.
And Jack Kirby, by the way, is like the best Fantastic Four ever. So,
well, yeah, I mean, he started it, and very few people have been able to get that, I don't know, combination right, which is why I'm kind of worried about the movie. That's the thing. I was worried about both of these movies. Superman made me go like, oh, okay, well, maybe Fantastic Four has a chance.
I will say this. In the beginning, before when we watched Superman, there was a Fantastic Four trailer I had not seen. And that trailer, I was kind of like, okay, there is probably some potential. But I'm still worried.
Yeah. I mean, I do like in the trailer, they fight Galactus. So there's a battle of Galactus, which is good. But I don't know why they've had like 8 different renditions of the Fantastic Four trailer, teaser trailer, whatever. And we've seen things that have been edited, added. I don't know why they keep the one thing. They think it's such a powerful line, and it's the worst, which is, "Are we gonna be okay?" And Pedro Pascal goes, "I don't know." It's like the worst. It's like the worst line. Like, I don't know who at the studio is like, that is so powerful. I don't know. Like, there's got to be something better.
Well,
I hope it's the same thing as Superman, which is like trailers
Right.
are bad, movies good. Isn't it supposed to be the opposite? Aren't we supposed to get teased into a really great film and it's a dud? I mean, if that's the new, I'll take it.
I guess.
But I don't know.
Let's see, you should be able to take the best bits out of 2 hours and make something that's 2.5 minutes, and make it appealing enough that you go like, oh, I could spend a couple hours watching that. Yeah. And Superman did it on the last trailer only. Fantastic Four has still not did it, even after that stupid Herbie trailer. I don't know if that's the one that you liked, Chet, but like that, I was just like, no, still not.
Yeah.
Ace, welcome in, brother. How you doing? Good to see you.
Ramen Toy Ace is in the house. Hey. Like we were talking about 112 action scale figures. We're talking about vehicles earlier. If you want to get some amazing 112 vehicles, check Ramen Toy. Got all the thing. Ace got some really cool vans, cars, and he's got that massive turtle display, man. You want to if you were a TMT guy, the Mezco is
and then and you saw
house.
The new double-decker or triple-decker one.
That's
amazing.
Check, please check. Like, Ramen Toy's got some cool stuff, and again, no paid promotions or sponsors. Just we like talking about cool stuff, and for TMNT or if you're into vehicles, man, that is a great place to look. But that's cool for Jack Kirby. Excited to hear about that. Okay, well, without further ado, there is an SKN rumor alert.
Yes. SKN rumors. Spirit of Vengeance coming to MCU. I really like that picture too. That's a cool figure. A new Ghost Rider, well, it's just my personal opinion. It seems this movie is one where the trailers caused a lot of commotion and the actual movie actually delivers. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A new Ghost Rider rumor from Marvel Studios' Midnight Suns movie. I hope so. Has surfaced online, teasing the studio's plans for the fan favorite hero's highly anticipated debut in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This comes after it was previously revealed that development on the Midnight Suns movie has continued, with the studio reportedly hiring a writer to pen the project's screenplay. According to a new report, Marvel Studios is reportedly planning the MCU debut of Johnny Blaze, who is known in the comics as the second character to take on the mantle of Ghost Rider.
Let me bring something up really quick. So with Ace being in the chat, this is funny because if you that picture you have right there is exactly one of the main reasons why I wanted the ramen racer. But this head sculpt is like one of my all-time favorite like head sculpts to have ever existed. And I actually have him inside the ramen racer. So when I saw this, I was like, holy shit, it's like my boy. This is awesome. So if you ever get a chance to find it, you got to find it. But yeah, I'm a huge like I think two of my all-time favorites of the Marvel universe is Ghost Rider and Punisher. So like to see this pop up, I was like it was so good. Ace, well, thank you for stopping by, my friend. Be safe. Be safe. The hidden welcome back. Welcome back. We are done with spoilers, so welcome back in. Yeah, this is a fantastic announcement. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've been asking for Ghost Rider for the longest time. I really thought that we would get a teaser, a sneak peek at the end of the Daredevil Reborn. I thought they would introduce the
God,
character,
please no.
but it never happened. Commander Bly, I think it's the greatest idea you've ever had to have Nick Cage. I mean, at least give us a cameo. You know what I mean?
Nick
Like
Cage
in Doomsday,
can
we
be
get a Doomsday?
He can be
like
old Ghost Rider on the horse. Right now, he's that
I'll
character.
I take that, but
I'll take that.
I think we all know who that would be. I mean, it's clear as day. Like if you're gonna cast an old man Ghost Rider on the horse, Jeff Bridges is your guy, man. Come on, come on. But anyway, yeah, I want to see Ghost Rider. Come on, and Keanu Reeves needs to be Johnny Blaze. I mean, I don't know what you're waiting for.
That would be
what
cool.
Like he is the guy. He is the man. They've been teasing left and right about what he's going to do in the Marvel universe. He's never been in the MCU. It is now time to bring Keanu. He rides motorcycles already. He'd be the coolest cat. It would be box office gold. That's the guy.
Yeah. And it's not bad on his knees. He doesn't have to do a lot of crazy stunt work stuff. Like, you know, the stunt man can be in the skull mask on fire, and he can do all the stuff just hanging out on motorcycles in a leather jacket.
Yep. And Nick Cage, we need to see Nick Cage one more time as Ghost Rider. Come on.
No.
That's if he
Come
can
on.
step away from
No.
that Madden
He
film.
had 2 chances and he failed both times. No more.
Come on. Well, I have a feeling we're going to talk about Nick Cage a little bit more on this show, but
well, not yet.
It is not yet, but we'll talk about again. Oh, Daredevil Born Again.
So
Season 3.
so this is the last rumor of the night. Daredevil Born Again Season 3. During an interview with Awards Buzz, Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays Kingpin, revealed that the second season of Daredevil Born Again won't act as a definitive end to Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk's stories, since anyway it's really just the end of season 1. They cut it up in 2. So anyway, but they already have plans for a potential 3rd season, although that doesn't mean anything's secured yet. If they allow us to continue, we have a plan. It's up to the fans, you know, to watch and to get excited. Well, that's a little hard after the last season, and it's up to us to please them and get the story right. But we're looking forward in a big way. Regardless of what could happen in a hypothetical 3rd season of Daredevil Born Again, it's nice to know Marvel is already thinking about it. Season 2 is going to be released in March of 2026.
I think that's the problem. I think releasing season 2 in 2026 is trash. I think you don't have time to make people wait that long because no one will be excited to see it, especially after the dumpster fire that was the first season. You wasted all of your good stuff in the beginning with Punisher being on and all that other trash. And like, I don't know. I just think like if you're only holding off to release it so that you can release it to have something for that year to release, like that's trash. I think that like um as much as there's issues with like Netflix, I think Netflix does it the best. Like they release everything all at once. You can binge watch it. You can do whatever you want. And the only reason why they don't release anymore is because they go back in and they're filming it. And like I can't imagine that they didn't film any of this season 2 already that is already edited. Unless they're trying to give themselves time to edit it to make it so people actually give a shit watching it. I just don't think I think waiting till March of 2026 is a problem. I just don't. It's not a good thing.
And I think part of the problem is they originally intended season 1 to be this longer thing that was going to be like 13 episodes or whatever, actually I think they was going to be like 20 episodes. It was longer, and then they got halfway through it, and Kevin Feige watched it and was like, "Oh no, this is bad. We gotta start over, everybody." And they went like back to the drawing board, saving what they could, and reshot a ton of it. So, I think their original plan, they're still going to use some of the stuff that they shot, and they probably shot some of the stuff for season 2 already, and they're going back to finish it. It wasn't great, but I did enjoy it. But you're right, the opening was a lot better than the preceding weeks.
Yeah, they need to change this to Daredevil board again. If it resembles anything like season 2. Does anyone here think the ending for MCU's Ironheart series seemed like it belonged to a Ghost Rider Marvel type character rather than Riri Williams? Well, the fact, go ahead. I know you're going to say
that's where Mephisto should have showed up as Ghost Rider, not Riri Williams and Ironheart.
Yes, it's like, what are we talking about? Like Mephisto and Ghost Rider. If you're going to introduce the character, that's
where he comes from.
Yes.
I'm just impressed that you guys watched Ironheart.
Oh, I didn't.
No, I saw the last, it was when I saw that I had to watch that episode. I'm like, what is happening? What's happening here?
And
so
that's also the release schedule, right? They did 3 episodes and 3 episodes, and we're all done, and no one's talked about it a week later,
Yeah.
And they spent a crazy amount of money on this stuff. It's like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but it ain't right.
Yeah. All I say is like, why? Like, and I know this was Sony, but and Disney just did it here. You have 2 incredibly epic depth level villains in Null and Venom and Mephisto here. And in both you teased short snippets and it goes nowhere. Why would you blow those 2 characters? Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. You could have introduced them in such a larger magnitude in any universe. Maybe there's future plans for Sacha Baron Cohen. I don't know, but what a goofy way to introduce him.
Yeah, I think they were looking for a place to introduce him, and he's probably going to come in, like if they're doing Midnight Suns, he's definitely going to be in that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they probably just needed to do an introduction somewhere, and they're like, well, Ironheart's next.
Jeez. Well, grain of salt possible here with the SKN rumor alerts.
Yeah. Just had to do it one more time.
Oh yeah.
Hey man,
oh
you
yeah.
got to get that out.
It's so good. Well, I mean, speaking of pop culture news, it's time. Alex is not in attendance, but we still got to run it, and it's time for everyone's favorite segment, and that is SKN News. Oh, I know, Dr. Brantley, you're enjoying reading this.
Oh no, I'm taking this one. This is
Why?
my.
Because I will be angry.
He's such a huge fan of this.
I know, but I am a huge fan, and that's right, everyone. National Treasure 3. Chris Brimmer has been hired to write the screenplay for National Treasure 3. Brimmer is best known for writing Bad Boys for Life and Bad Boys Ride or Die, two of the world's greatest never-seen movies. Those two movies combined to gross a total of over 800 million worldwide, which is probably not true if you count in the amount of money it took to make them and then the loss. National Treasure 3 has been rumored since 2008. The movie was in development hell for over a decade before Disney and producer Jerry Bruckheimer officially moved forward with the film in 2020. No director or cast is attached to the National Treasure 3. However, Cage would likely return in the starring role as Benjamin Franklin Gates. Hey, look, I'm all about it.
Of course you are.
I think it's great. He's going to be fresh off of the John Madden film. He could jump right into this bad boy, and then, I mean, I don't know, in between throwing some Ghost Rider, and who doesn't like a Coppola anyways on film, right? Of course, everyone knows he doesn't use the Coppola name and he's a Coppola, but
Well, let me ask you a question. Dr. Brantley, you have to watch National Treasure 3 with Nick Cage or the next installment of The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. What are you choosing?
Mummy.
Wow, this is like, is there one where I can off myself and just,
Nope.
hang out like in a sensory deprivation tank for 24 hours or something?
That was a joke, YouTube, by the way, just as a heads up. He was joking.
You gotta choose one, sir.
Oh, I probably
Say it.
It might be
Say it.
Mummy. I don't
my-
know. I
Are you
don't know
serious?
because the National Treasure movies have not been good.
Did you see Scorpion King? What is wrong with you?
I did. I also saw National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. And then there was
there were no
TV
secrets.
show. Did anybody watch that TV show on Disney Plus? Because do you remember that it happened a couple years ago?
Was that at the time when they first released Disney Plus? Were they looking
like
for
a year
content?
after or 2 years after? There's a National Treasure television series.
I watched it.
And was it any good?
Yes, fine.
No,
It's better than Ironheart.
But was it better than the movies?
No, it was trash.
Look, there's no way Nick Cage gets cast as this unless National Treasure 3 goes straight to streaming Tubi or something. So,
but why?
If they're gonna
why
write it,
not,
he's not
though?
gonna be in it.
He doesn't command that much,
Yeah, but he's not gonna be he's not a box office star anymore. Come on, And this is not big. It's not big enough of a franchise to carry. What he's no longer the big star, right? Like Spider-Man Noir is streaming, but it's also like Spider-Man Noir, and plus he voiced it, so there's a connection here. But I don't think there's a big demand for this. But I'll watch it if he's in it.
See, now Spider-Man Noir, actually, that's something with Nicolas Cage that I am looking forward to. I'm like, this is okay. Could be off the rails, kooky. Or it could be just what it is, straight up Spider-Man Noir. And that's what I'm hoping for. But the National Treasure stuff, also just to give you a little behind the scenes, the first National Treasure, the whole reason it came about was from a marketing guy at Disney who said, hey, you know what would make a lot of money? What if we did like a Indiana Jones knockoff, but they're going after American stuff? And that's how Disney came up with the franchise. So It was all from hey, we can sell this movie.
I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear that.
I'm just saying, I know you thought it was all about the artistic merit of Benjamin Franklin Gates' story. It's just a stupid name. Anyway,
Does it make sense for RDJ Doom character to connect with MCU's? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think all things are possible in Doomsday and beyond. I think you're gonna just see a bulk load of different characters from the Marvel universe, and it'll probably be so variant heavy that they'll just be sneaking in cameos left and right. But yeah, National Treasure 3, we shall see.
This one's good too for everybody that's wondering why there's so many Funkos out there on your shelves. Funko loses 28 million and replaces their CEO. The Everett based company, known for its pop culture collectibles, including vinyl figures with giant heads, confirmed interim CEO Michael Lunsford replaced CEO Cynthia Williams on July the 5th. They said, and quote, "We believe a change in the leadership is necessary to deliver full shareholder value and believe Mike's appointment positions us accordingly," end quote. Charles Denson, Funko Board of Directors chairman, said in a statement. And then Funko sales were down in the first quarter of the year. The company lost 28.1 million doll hairs, or 0.52 per share. Funko appointed Williams to the CEO position just over a year ago. And newsflash, Funko, the CEO has nothing to do with it. You make toys that no one gives a shit about anymore.
And also, you fill up giant mall stores with product that doesn't sell. Going from, we've seen those Funko stores. What is it?
They're everywhere. It's oversaturation.
Yeah,
you could find Funkos at gas stations and malls.
It should have been scarcity. They should have done scarcity. Yeah. Look, Funko, I give them props. They started off making the Bob's Big Boy piggy banks, right? That's their thing. They did that shit. And there was a point in time where they were the brand to get, especially during like San Diego Comic-Con from like 2013 almost all the way up until like 2019. But the problem is that it just became flooded, and they were like the number one scalper collectible. And now all these people have like home mortgages in collection sizes of Funkos that are worth a third, if not less, than the cost of what they bought them for. I have a few that I like, but they're very specific and they have purpose. Like I have a Grimlock Funko that's signed by, and so it's like, I think there's a place
signed by Grimlock.
Yes, Grimlock signed it with his little baby hands. I think there's a place for them, but you're not losing money because of a CEO. You're losing. Well, I guess maybe you are, because the CEO is not saying like, "Hey, our shit sucks. Let's make something better." But it's just that like, you should take all of the knowledge you have for toys, because regardless if we like them or hate them, Funko did have a place in pop culture, and there's a lot of knowledge that's there, right? But you should take that knowledge, and instead of trying to say, how do we just keep pushing the same trash out and hope to not fill up the garbage can, you should take all of that knowledge and seek other like toy manufacturers that want to produce toys that then Funko can just become like a brand, like an Image Comics of toy making, because there are things that Funko does that are really well. Like one of the cooler ones that they did were like the soda collectibles that came in like the soda can. That was kind of cool, but then they overplayed that shit. And it's just like, introduce a brand that has like scarcity. Like, we're only making like, 5,000 of these, not we're going to make 5,000 every week for the next fucking 33 years. Like you're just producing, like, no one needs that. And I get it. They are kind of one of the brands where it's like, if you're walking through Target or Walmart and your kid wants something, like, it's not really a lot of money to buy, even though Funko raised the prices and now it kind of is. It's still like something that your kids could like have. And they're like an IP whore. They have IPs for everything you can think of. So I get where people would like want that. But I don't really, I just think that this new CEO should just really like, example of what I'm talking about. There's like there the early stages of like Gordon Ramsay and like Kitchen Nightmares and like reframing everyone. He used to bring in people that would say reviews on Yelp and have the owners listen to them like in person about like why their restaurant sucked. And it was eye-opening. And I think that's what Funko needs to do. Funko needs to get a lot of their brand ambassadors that they had in a room to talk to the CEO about why the brand is not doing what the brand should be doing. And then you'll have an eye-opening moment and you'll realize that no one's collecting your shit anymore, and you gotta innovate. And that's my 2 cents on this.
You said it. It's just oversaturation.
I've seen so many people, especially on YouTube, where they have like a wall behind them of Funkos of every IP that they enjoy, right? Which that's cool, but yeah, this is something that pretty much doesn't come out of the box. It just sits there on the shelf, and you know, if you like big-headed figures, that's great, but you can't play with it really. It's just, hope you like a big-headed version of Frodo, or you know, whatever. But if whatever you want, they definitely have it. No matter what kind of obscure character, if it's been in pop culture in the last 60 to 100 years, it probably has a Funko.
Yep. Well, let's see if the new CEO turns things around. But right now, it's doomsday for Funko. That is SKN News. Well, folks, as always, we appreciate you always coming in here every Friday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time, right here on SKN. And as always, every Wednesday night for Toy Box Chronicles, featuring all your toys and collectibles. They go live every 7 p.m. Pacific time, Wednesday as well. Various other things on the channel. So if you haven't already, and I can't believe you haven't, please subscribe. We have a special episode in store for all of you this Sunday, and that is, again, we had the opportunity a couple weeks back to do the Kickstarter kickoff with Chris Scott, founder and creator of Grindhouse Toys, who is launched his Kickstarter, the World War Hell badass 1/18 scale line VHS horror, just amazing. And well, it's only fitting we kicked it off, then we're gonna end it on Sunday. Chet, are you looking forward to this?
I am absolutely looking forward to this. Chris is a rad guy. It's a lot of fun talking with him. We had a really good time the first time he was on. You know, on Saturday he'll be with the Purple Gang, so that'll be awesome. But him and I were talking, and we thought it would be, you know, a perfect way to kick off ending it, which was actually his idea of like coming on like the hour before it ends to talk about it. We're going to go over anything and everything you could think of. I know there's some confusion about how the levels are working for the pledges and things like that. So we'll get into all of that. But like, if you weren't here for the first one, go back and rewatch it. It was very informative. You can find out a lot about World War Hell. In my humble opinion, that's usually 1,000% right. He is leading the way with the 1/18 scale on these figures, and you know his 1/18 scale are better than most people's 1/12 scale figures. So, really excited to have Chris Scott on for this. It's going to be fantastic. He's actually got all the pledges set up, one of the most intelligent ways to do pledges. So when it's explained, it's actually pretty simple. But I'm excited. Dr. Brantley, I'm curious with you too, because I know that you are a collector. However, on the collecting side, you're not as intense as the rest of us on the show. But what are your thoughts on this campaign so far?
Oh, well, first of all, it's fully funded, so this is coming out if you pledge to it. And I think they're almost about to hit their third stretch goal, because there were like 95,000 before the show started, and I think 97,000 is the next character that gets unlocked.
Yeah, they're at 96,283 right now, and their goal was 72,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're right. These are so much more detailed than a lot of the 6-inch figures that you see. And it's like, how is this possible? You know, how are these guys doing this detailed good work? And then bigger companies with much better resources can't do that on a bigger scale. You know, it's like, yeah. So actually, I'm very close. I might do it on the show on Sunday, but yeah, I'm right on the edge of getting this for myself. Even
I mean,
though
if I show you the necromancer, will you buy this? Like the necromancer figure I have is like one of my favorite figures in my collection, just because of everything that is set up. So we encourage everybody to like come hang out on Sunday. We start at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna go till the show ends, and then however long we need to go till afterwards. But yeah, I think by the end of the show, Doctor, you're gonna be purchasing one. Yeah. Which is great because he does have an option, and I wanted to say that really quick. There's an option for $40, and that basically unlocks you for the ability to buy any one of the released characters. That's what you can buy. So if you just want to buy one to just have it, it's literally $40, and then you could add on.
I was looking at the all-in version that was like $275, $85, something like that. Which you get one of everything. Yeah, that's what because I'm not gonna do it half-assed. If I'm gonna put them all.
Well, and that's important too, because we talked about this on the last one. Like, his stuff is not on eBay. Like, you cannot find them, and if you do, they're like $225 for one figure, and they're worth it. So I'm on the all-in one. I'm on the all-in one, and honestly, like, if you do the all-in one, it takes his figures, I think, almost below $25 by the time you're getting it, because all-in is you get all of the mainline, all of the releases, all of the you just get a ton of stuff. So, and he also was very clear about, if it doesn't fund all the way, like all of the goals are unlocked, you still get the same amount for your money. It's just not everything that wasn't unlocked. So
well, stay tuned, folks. Sunday night, this Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern, join the final funding countdown of World War Hell with Chris. So looking forward to that. As always, we appreciate you all jumping in again, and big shout out Commander Bly, Meeks, the Hidden, Ace dropping in, everyone else, Jason, and then for those of you watching us on replay, we appreciate it. Until we see you on Sunday night, have a great rest of your Friday, and enjoy your Saturday. Subscribe. We'll see you soon.